Greetings, aliens. This is TJ, and you're watching Studio Sessions with Astronoize. Today, we are going to talk about sound design. In particular, I'm going to share with you how I build one of our signature sounds, a plucky, saw, rhythmic type synth. And let's just dive in. We're going to use Serum. But these apply to most synths, most wavetable synths. Massive is what I got used to. Serum was pretty similar, so I'm sure there's a lot of other synths out there that you can do this with. Let's get started. So first off, I'm going to jump down here to the envelope and get a more plucky sound. Let's listen. Cool, I'm happy with that. Let's add another oscillator. Sweet. I like that. Let's jump down here to the LFO. So let me explain this before I do it. I like to use an LFO to give it a little more of an analog feel, because traditionally in an analog synth, the oscillators aren't the same. Every single time you play a note, the oscillator is in a different position, if you will. So it's not going to sound exactly the same. It's going to sound just similar enough to where the untrained ear or the listener can't really perceive that it's different, but just different enough that it gives it a little variation and it doesn't sound like a computer just playing the same exact note. So let's do that with some LFOs. So I think we put it on the CRS, I believe. I don't think it's the fine tune. Let's find out. Let's take a listen to this. It might be the fine pitch. This, I think, set as the coarse pitch. Anyways, we're just going to do it barely, just as you can see, 5. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'm going to, let's turn off the BPM, turn the rate all the way up. Let's go into here. I like to use abitcrazy. So we got like a weird, crazy, and you can move these points around as you wish. I'm going to leave it like that, leave it really fast. Let's take a listen. I'm going to turn these oscillators off, actually, so we can hear exactly what it's doing to this Oscillator A, which is being affected by LFO 1. Maybe it is the fine tune. Let's remove all modulators off the course. Most definitely. So it's the fine pitch. It's not the coarse pitch. Of course, you don't want to be moving it a lot, so fine makes more sense. You just want it to barely be moving that oscillator around. And I don't know if you can hear this, but it's every time that note plays, it's slightly different. Sounds like it's in a slightly different position. It's the same note, same timbre, same everything, but that note is just going to have a little bit of variation on it every time now because this oscillator is in a different position on this little wavetable here every time the note plays. So let's do that to Oscillator B now. And I'm going to do it with another LFO, and I'm going to use a different timing with it just so those aren't on the same revolution, because then you wouldn't really notice the difference. Because each oscillator, again, on an analog synth has it's a mind of its own, basically, and the cycles are going to be different, basically. So let's go to Oscillator 2, or Oscillator B, LFO 2, and let's adjust that really quick. Again, turn the BPM off, and let's go to, we were at 100 hertz on the last time. Let's go down to like 75. Let's go back in here to a bit crazy, but this time let's move these points around so that, again, it's different from the first oscillator. Cool, that works. And let's actually go up to like 80. Again, dragging it to the fine tune. And the last one was positive. Let's just go -5. All right, let's go a little bit less on this one. -4. Check it out. Sweet. I hope you hear that every single time the note hits, a little bit of variation in it. Let's add back that noise. I like the way this is sounding. Nice. Moving on to the filter. Let's use a 24 decibel per octave low pass. Just go ahead, set the cutoff down here, and let's do an envelope for the cutoff. I'm going to make the envelope for the cutoff a bit plucky as well. Sustain on a cutoff, you don't want to do it as low as the sustain on the envelope that's affecting the oscillators. So we'll go around 45%, whatever, that works. We'll adjust accordingly, I guess. 350 milliseconds on the release. Decay time, let's bring it back down. Plucky again, and relatively similar on the hold and decay as we did in envelope 1. Let's take a listen. Oh yeah. So the reason why that sounded like it wasn't doing anything, I have to engage these buttons right here. That means all of these are being routed through the filter. Let's take a listen again. Sweet. I like the sound of that. Okay. Let's do one more thing and mess with one of these modulators. So now that we got a good sound crafted that I like, good filtering, good envelopes on everything, I like where the oscillators are all sitting in conjunction to each other. They sound analog because we have the LFOs at different rates affecting them with different times. So the last thing I'd like to do is I like to assign one of these modulators to different parameters. So throughout the song, I can use this modulator right here, and I can automate it, and we can make the sound grow and morph throughout the song. And let's just take a listen to what that sounds like. One thing I like to do is I like to, first of all, modulate the filter. And let's just say filter on this. Sweet, so that sounds cool, but then I also like to go into the envelopes and modulate the release, a little more decay, and sustain. So let's start off with release. We don't want it all the way up because that's going to sound crazy. A little more sustain, a little more decay. And now let's take a listen to this as we affect the modulator. Sweet. See that? So it's not this modulator. You can assign it to whatever parameters your heart desires. I like to do the filter, and I like to affect the release, especially. Is going to get you that long tail. That sounds pretty cool. One other thing is probably like affecting this white noise. Give us a little bit of noise as it goes. Let's listen to that. Right on. That sounds really cool. I'm really happy with that. I might actually save this. I'm sure I have a patch like this saved already though. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Oscillators, sweet. Filter sounds sweet. Envelope sounds sweet. Modulators affecting them sweetly. So let's go to the effects. Last part I like to mess with. Honestly, this is up to you. I usually just add a little bit of reverb on there. And honestly, all the other effects that I like to do, I'll just insert them on the channel. I don't like to directly insert them there. That'll save you CPU, I guess, but I'm not particularly a fan of those. I have really good plugins, so I like to use those, but I do like to use the reverb, so let's mix a little bit of that in and see what it sounds like. Cool. So I like to be pretty subtle because I'm going to add reverb onto this later in the chain anyways, probably, if not directly on the instrument channel there, maybe on the bus, or maybe the bus gets sent to a return, a reverb send or something like that. So I'm going to add reverb there, just going pretty subtle. One other cool thing to do with your modulator though is to add reverb with it. You don't want to go too crazy and drown it out, or maybe you do. Just adding a little bit more of that. Let's see what that sounds like. Maybe a little bit more. Right on. That sounds pretty cool to me. So yeah, that's just a basic saw pluck, honestly. I love saws. If you haven't noticed in Astronoize music, we like saws. They're just really gritty, dirty, powerful, in your face, just emotional, just I love saws. Squares are cool too. I tend to lean more towards saws, but anyways, this kind of saw plucky thing, we use it a lot. It's really good for rhythmic parts to your song. And again, with that modulator, you can just, just go crazy with it throughout your song, just automating it, and like breaks and stuff where you need a little more energy, where you want the song to just lift up a little bit more. It's great for that. Yeah, and then you can even mess around with the notes, and sky's the limit. Now you know how to make a saw pluck. Now I let you in on a little secret, but I'm learning new secrets every day, so try to catch up if you can. Anyways, guys, let us know what you want to see a video of. Contact us on social media. Comment here in the comment box below. Astronoize Music. We would love to hear from you. Love to make more videos. And until next time, make some music. Peace.